The Taiwan Strait, just 180 kilometers wide at its narrowest, is a slender ribbon of water that separates two worlds, Taiwan and mainland China. Though it may look calm from above, this stretch of sea is anything but ordinary. It's one of the world's most critical geopolitical flashpoints. A place where history, politics, and power all converge in a delicate balance. On a clear day, the Chinese mainland is almost visible from Taiwan's shores. A constant reminder of the unresolved conflict that divides them, and of the proximity that fuels both anxiety and vigilance. This narrow waterway is a vital artery for global trade, with countless ships carrying everything from electronics to chemicals. Every day, billions of dollars in goods pass through, making it a lifeline not just for Asia, but for the entire world economy. For China, the Strait represents unfinished business, a civil war that never truly ended, and a symbol of national unity yet to be achieved. For Taiwan's 24 million people, it's a defensive moat, separating their democracy from authoritarian rule. It's both a shield and a source of uncertainty about the future. For the world, especially the US and its allies, it's a barometer of Indo-Pacific stability, a place where any spark could have far-reaching consequences. Military drills, diplomatic statements, and daily life here all pulse with underlying tension. Every maneuver, every word, is watched closely by millions. The Strait is where the ambitions of a rising superpower, the resilience of a small democracy, and the interests of global powers collide, creating a complex web of rivalry and alliance. Understanding this channel is key to grasping one of the 21st century's most complex challenges. Its story is about far more than geography. It's about identity, sovereignty, and the future of the region. The peace here is fragile, and its disruption would carry a global price, echoing far beyond these shores and into the heart of international affairs. The roots of today's tension trace back to 1949, a year that would forever alter the fate of China and its surrounding region. That year, the long and brutal Chinese Civil War finally ended, but not with true peace. Instead, it resulted in a dramatic split. Mao Zedong's communists declared victory on the vast mainland, establishing the People's Republic of China in Beijing. Meanwhile, Chiang Kai-shek's defeated nationalists retreated to the island of Taiwan, bringing with them nearly 2 million followers, soldiers, officials, and civilians alike, fleeing the new regime. From their new capital in Taipei, the nationalists insisted they remained the legitimate government of all China, calling their state the Republic of China, and vowing to one day reclaim the mainland. Beijing, however, saw Taiwan as a breakaway province, an unfinished chapter in China's story that must be resolved through reunification, by force if necessary. This created the two Chinas dilemma, two rival governments, each claiming to be the sole legitimate ruler of all Chinese territory. The United States, locked in Cold War rivalry with the Soviet Union and Communist China, threw its support behind Taiwan, recognizing it at the United Nations and providing crucial diplomatic backing. American support, including a formal defense treaty and military presence, was vital for Taiwan's survival and its rapid economic development in the decades that followed. Over time, the nationalists' dream of retaking the mainland faded into history, but the political standoff across the Taiwan Strait remained as tense as ever. The Civil War never ended with a peace treaty. It simply paused, leaving both sides in a state of unresolved conflict. To this day, Beijing has never renounced the use of force to achieve unification, keeping military pressure on Taiwan. For Taiwan, now a vibrant democracy with its own unique identity, this complex history continues to shape its politics, society, and sense of self. The unresolved legacy of 1949 still defines the high-stakes confrontation across the Strait, making the island's future one of the world's most sensitive and closely watched questions. The 1970s brought a seismic shift in Taiwan's global standing, forever altering its place on the world stage. Once recognized by many as the legitimate government of China, Taiwan suddenly found itself at the center of a global power struggle. As the US sought to counter the Soviet Union during the Cold War, it opened relations with Beijing, culminating in Nixon's historic 1972 visit. This diplomatic breakthrough marked a turning point in East Asian geopolitics. The world began to recognize the People's Republic of China, not Taiwan, as the legitimate government of China. One by one, countries shifted their embassies and allegiances. In 1971, the UN expelled Taiwan in favor of Beijing, a devastating blow that left Taiwan diplomatically adrift and searching for new allies. By 1979, the US switched diplomatic recognition to Beijing, adopting the One China policy. Official ties with Taiwan were severed, but unofficial connections remained. Taiwan was left isolated, but not abandoned. Its people faced uncertainty, yet their resolve endured. The US Congress passed the Taiwan Relations Act, ensuring continued unofficial ties and arms sales for Taiwan's defense. This act became a lifeline, providing security assurances even without formal recognition. This created strategic ambiguity. The US acknowledges Beijing's claim but insists any unification must be peaceful, never stating outright if it would defend Taiwan. This uncertainty was designed to keep both sides guessing. Taiwan is recognized by few countries, yet it operates as a sovereign state with its own government, military, and currency. Its vibrant democracy and economy set it apart in the region. Strategic ambiguity was meant to deter both invasion and a formal declaration of independence, maintaining a delicate balance that has lasted for decades. For decades, this fragile balance kept the peace, allowing Taiwan to thrive while avoiding open conflict with China. But as China's power grows, the diplomatic dance becomes ever more precarious. The stakes are higher than ever before. The world watches as the stakes rise. In the Taiwan Strait, with every move scrutinized by global powers and regional neighbors alike, the status quo is under increasing strain, and the risk of miscalculation grows with each passing year. The future of peace depends on careful diplomacy and restraint. Every decision now could shape the fate of the region for generations to come. Isolated and under threat, Taiwan knew it couldn't rely on military might alone. In the late 1970s and 80s, its leaders made a bold pivot, build a fortress of silicon, not steel. The goal was to make Taiwan indispensable to the global economy, a strategy called the Silicon Shield. The government invested in research, education, and lured back top engineering talent from abroad. Enter Morris Chang, a visionary engineer who founded Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC, in 1987. TSMC pioneered the pure-play foundry model, manufacturing chips designed by others. This allowed innovative design firms to thrive without building their own costly factories. Taiwan, poor in natural resources, bet everything on high-tech manufacturing. By focusing on semiconductors, the brains of modern technology, Taiwan embedded itself in the global tech ecosystem. The Silicon Shield became a national survival strategy. Taiwan's security was now tied to its economic indispensability. The world could not afford to let Taiwan fall. TSMC's foundry model was perfectly timed with the PC, mobile, and internet booms. Global tech giants needed a reliable partner for ever more complex chips. Taiwan delivered. The cost of building advanced chip factories soared, leaving only a few players in the game. TSMC stayed ahead through relentless innovation, shrinking transistors to microscopic sizes. Today, Taiwan produces over 60% of the world's semiconductors by revenue, and over 90% of the most advanced chips. These chips power AI, 5G, advanced computing, and military hardware. Taiwan's dominance gives it unique leverage. A disruption would cripple the global economy. The Silicon Shield is now a powerful deterrent. Any conflict would have catastrophic worldwide consequences. Taiwan's technological edge is its most effective line of defense. The world's prosperity is tied to this tiny island's fabs. Inside a Taiwanese semiconductor foundry, technology reaches its pinnacle. Workers in ultra-clean rooms oversee a process where a single speck of dust can ruin millions of dollars worth of chips. Manufacturing a chip takes months and hundreds of precise steps, from blank silicon wafer to finished processor. Photolithography projects intricate circuit patterns onto wafers, creating billions of microscopic transistors. The smallest features are measured in nanometers, thousands of times thinner than a human hair. This precision requires a global supply chain. Dutch machines, Japanese chemicals, American software. Taiwan's foundries are the irreplaceable hub where all these elements converge. The chips they produce power smartphones, computers, cars, medical devices, and advanced weapons. Taiwan doesn't just make components, it builds the foundation of modern civilization. The Silicon Shield is not just economic, it's existential. The world runs on chips made in Taiwan. Every new iPhone graphics card or electric vehicle traces its origins to Taiwan's fabs. Tech giants like Apple and Tesla design chips, but rely on TSMC to manufacture them. This creates a fragile, symbiotic relationship. Taiwan is an essential partner in global innovation. Without its foundries, technological progress would stall. A major disruption could cost the global electronics industry hundreds of billions and trigger a worldwide recession. The COVID-19 chip shortages expose the vulnerability of this supply chain. Nations are scrambling to build their own fabs, but self-sufficiency is years away. For now, the world's tech lifeline runs through Taiwan. The Silicon Shield's success has raised the stakes in the Taiwan Strait. For Beijing, controlling Taiwan's foundries would mean instant technological dominance. China's military is more capable than ever, and its pressure on Taiwan is relentless. Incursions, exercises, and intimidation are now routine. Each maneuver risks a miscalculation that could spark a global catastrophe. A conflict would devastate the world economy, halt chip production, and pit nuclear powers against each other. The price of peace is constant vigilance and careful diplomacy. The price of conflict would be paid by everyone, everywhere. The fate of this small island is tied to the world's stability and prosperity. Taiwan's story is one of resilience and bold strategy. By betting on semiconductors, it turned vulnerability into strength, the Silicon Shield. But this shield is a deterrent, not a guarantee. As tensions rise, the risk that politics could override economic logic grows. Taiwan's indispensability is both its greatest defense and its greatest danger. The future depends on wise diplomacy, resilient supply chains, and relentless innovation. The peace that has held for decades is not assured. The world is now invested in Taiwan's high-stakes gamble. The outcome will shape the 21st century.